This is the Gamecock Corner, brought to you by Randy Jones and Associates, your hot spot for everything you need to know about Jacksonville State football. Time to get the scoop on this week's matchup with your host, Shane Wilson, and the legendary voice of the Gamecocks, Mike Parris.
Another week in the Gamecock Corner, another week where we recap cardiac episodes with myself and the voice of the Gamecocks. Boy, what a season this has been, and Saturday was certainly no exception. So now let's talk about it with the voice of the Gamecocks for more than 4 decades. Mike Parris joins us in the Gamecock Corner. Mike, good morning.
Good morning, Shane. Charles Kelly says you got to use every second, so we lived it last week, I tell you.
I was thinking about this before we started talking this morning. Aside from championship seasons, which obviously are very memorable in their own right, but, take away 1992, take away 2015 when you guys played for the national championship in FCS, rank how memorable this season has already been, still with, your 2 biggest games to play.
Well, I got to tell you, I don't remember in all my years doing this, a season like this with all these close games. Sam Houston avoided overtime there, or loss with the last-second field goal to win that one. We avoided overtime the other night with Western Kentucky with that one. So there's really nothing to compare it to, I don't think. The other games also have been tight. We had a chance at FIU last possession of the game. If we can, had a chance there to do something possibly as well. So this is a season unto itself, unlike any other. We've had injuries, especially on the offensive line. We're beat up now, I think. Lance Johnson, he had played earlier in the year, came back. We lose him again last week with an injury. So, 6 left starting tackles, maybe 7 at this point in time. It's, so it's been just a different kind of year all the way around. But here we are with a chance to win a title now.
Is it safe to assume that Garrison Ripa doesn't need to wait to be inducted into the Hall of Fame as soon as he graduates? He's pretty much already in.
He has been money in the late going when we needed him. I would prefer Saturday that we don't need him there in the late going, but we'll see what happens against against Kennesaw State in this matchup in the championship game Friday night. But he's been in throughout the season. He has been outstanding as well. And I believe with that last kick he had in the game Saturday that he's 3rd all-time career field goals now. And he's a redshirt sophomore. So He's got plenty of time to try and break the record.
So what else about Saturday stood out to you?
Well, just the fact that we stayed with it. The first half, they had 5 possessions, scored on 4 of them. The only time they didn't score, ball bounces off a receiver's hands on a pass attempt, and we intercepted and ran it back to the 10-yard line. So, going into halftime, I thought we were very fortunate to be down 28-24, and I don't know, we made, I'll just say, adjustments at halftime, and we're able to put the clamps on them the second half, continue to move the football, and Caden Creel and Cam Cook, again, both outstanding in the run game, and we persevered when it was all said and done. And doesn't matter if it takes to the last second, just, as Al Davis used to say, just win, baby. And fortunately,
that's right.
We've been able to do that.
All right, so let's move ahead to Friday night. A familiar opponent and a game that is for all the marbles in Conference USA. So you've been here before. In fact, you were here just a year ago. But beating a team twice, especially in the confines of the same season, is really, really tough. So what's it going to take for a victory on Friday night?
Well, I keep thinking back to that first game. We won a game in which we gave up 579 yards. 4 turnovers played a big part in that game. We had 4 picks. So if we're going to give up that amount of yardage, we got to find a way to get some turnovers again. I just feel like we've got to be I don't think we can give up that amount of yardage again and win the game. So I look for us maybe to do some things differently defensively for the first go round. And, we got to continue to move the football. A little concerned, offensive line again with some injuries, but hopefully, defensively we tighten it up some. Now, we'll say part of their game plan going into that game was, I guess, a bend but don't break mentality. Kennesaw, during the season to that point when we played them, had and having to drive the ball to score had not had a whole lot of success. And we're talking in the teens, their percentage of where they had drove the ball down the field and scored. They really had lived off explosive plays and big plays, and that was one reason we were just trying to keep them from having big plays and explosive plays. Didn't want them to get behind us in the secondary and that sort of thing. So I know we'll have some of that again, but maybe just sort of tighten it up inside of the 20s, I'll put it that way, to slow them down. But I think that's a big thing, in our ability to move the football, especially with our ground attack, also is a big item Friday night.
Friday night is when it happens. Conference USA Championship game hosted at AmFirst Stadium, Burgess Snow Field in Jacksonville. And WKXX will have every play for you. And Mike, if we go bowling after that, are you hearing about some possible exotic destinations?
Well, New Orleans the first year and Orlando the second year. So we've had two pretty good stops to this point in time. A lot of rumors, a lot of things. And obviously, some of that depends on the outcome. I think probably we win the game and Conference USA champs, maybe a little bit better bowl than if we don't win it. So nothing concrete, nothing for certain at this point in time. I just hope we can take care of business and win it, and then we can worry about that. We'll find out Sunday officially where we're going.
All right. Well, we will talk about that Conference USA Championship game in the Gamecock Corner 1 week from today, and then we'll talk about going bowling. Mike, you'll be here with us. We appreciate you, man. Have a great day.
Thanks. Come see us.
Gamecock Corner is brought to you each week by Randy Jones and Associates.
Hi, I'm Randy Jones, your hometown trusted choice insurance agency. Randy Jones and Associates knows the playing field, and we have been proudly serving communities across North Alabama for 46 years. Having the right protection on the field is important. The RJA team of experienced agents will help you find affordable, customized insurance coverage for your family, business, and future. Stop by a local Randy Jones Associates office for a free, no-obligation quote or complimentary policy review.
Join us next week for the Gamecock Corner, brought to you by Randy Jones and Associates, a production of WKXX Sports.